Crunches are bad. Stop fucking doing them. You know, I overdid it by going for 1,000. You can hear it's getting harder to talk. I'm really straining out. Keeping your core on the whole time. 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Look, the thing with crunches is all you're really doing is you're overworking your 6-pack and your hip flexors. I've got a little graph here showing, I'm just joking, I'm not doing a graph. Crunches, why are they bad? Look, you're overworking your hip flexors and you're overworking your 6-pack. What you got to remember is that our core is made up of 4 major muscle groups, and our 6-pack, our abs, are just the front. Just the most superficial ones. When you're doing, say, just working your 6-pack and building a strong core, it's the same as just doing bicep curls and saying you're gonna have huge arms. It's not the case. There's a shitload more going on over there. So yeah, what tends to happen is we sit down and we bust out a big amount of crunches because we think that's what we should be doing. 30, 40, 50 reps. Yeah, I done a whole lot of them. There's a few problems with that. So first up, we're overworking that muscle. Like I just said, our 6-pack, we're overworking our hip flexors. The problem with overworking our hip flexors is a lot of us are spending more and more time sitting down. And when we're sitting down, our hip flexors are shortening and tight already. And so when we overwork those, all that's doing is pulling and causing lower back pain. So what you really want to be doing is working your whole core. Other reason why we don't want to be knocking out 30, 40, 50, 60 reps of those. Are you doing those rep ranges on any of the other exercises you're doing? No, so why are we training that muscle for endurance? Soon as you're going 12, 15 reps plus, you're training for endurance. Why are we just training that one for endurance? Why are we training everything else in sort of 8 to 12 reps or 5 if we're going for strength? Why? So, I've given you a whole lot of reasons why not to. That's cool, right? So what can we do instead? I'll let you know what I do. My big thing is getting core into movements sneakily. Not just with my clients, but with myself as well. I always make sure that if I'm doing a movement or they're doing a movement, they're working more than one muscle group, So we'll quite often do lunges, but we'll be holding something above our head because that's stabilizing everything. My big one as well is making sure people are set right when they do push-ups and when they do pull-ups. So I'm going to show you a few of the things I do with that. I'm going to show you how we should be in a hollow position, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways we can be in a plank, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways how we can bring core in with the other movements we're working on anyway. Sound good? All right. Come on in. Here we are, nice and low, getting down and dirty. Standard sort of plank formation. So we're here, right? Pretty straight through the body. There's nothing wrong with that, that's good. We're engaging our core. This is a good position to be in. But another alternative we can be in with our core is if we round ourselves in a little bit. And what's happening here is I'm drawing my belly button back. Let me just show you what I mean. So here, everything's nice and straight, everything's tight, that's good. But as soon as I come in here, look at what's happening with my abdomen. I'm pulling that back. It may seem counterproductive because I'm no longer in a plank position, but you can hear it's getting harder to talk. I'm really straining now, really pulling my core back. So this is the kind of position we want to get into in a lot of our movements. So you may already be aware, I'm a big fan of push-ups as a core movement. You'll see my video, which I'll pop in right here. 1,000 push-ups in one day. The whole point of that video was not to show how good I am at doing push-ups. It was to show that you can do 100 in a day. That was my whole thing, I overdid it by going for 1,000. But I'm constantly telling clients that want to work on a stronger core, try and do 100 push-ups in a day. If you can do that, you're getting a lot of time in that plank position, you're spending a lot of time with your core braced. That's going to do you wonders for a strong core. All of them say they can't do it. I can't do 100 push-ups in a day. That was my point. I was like, okay, well, if I can do 1,000 in a day, you can do 100. So go check that one out and I'll show you how we break it all up. But push-ups is dynamite for your core. You're keeping yourself in that plank position the whole time. You're keeping your core switched on. So spend more time doing push-ups, spend more time doing variations. Once you get good at doing a standard old push-up, that's cool. Let's go different with it now. Let's go into a Spider-Man one. Let's even do single leg ones. All of these kind of things are forcing us to switch our core on in different ways. That's what you want to do. All right, now let's talk pull-ups. Bringing our core in with those as well. So we see a lot of people do our typical knees back, pulling up this way. It's not that there's a huge problem with that. You're still working a lot of the same muscles, but you're switching off this bad boy. Let's use this guy. So what do? I jump up into a hollow position. I bring my feet a little bit more forward so that my abs are on. It's a little bit harder doing it this way, but it's a whole lot better for your core. Keeping your core on the whole time. 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Isn't that what we're trying to get? Bang for buck with our training. So there's that. Keep your core on. Legs forward into that hollow position. That hollow position is dynamite. All right, there we have it. There's a few reasons why crunches suck and a whole lot of things you can do to get your core stronger. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, get yourself your copy of my free ebook, Train Wherever the Fuck You Want. We're talking resistance bands, we're talking training wherever the fuck you want. All right, thanks a lot, like and subscribe. Let's get to 1 million together.